Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 35, I believe, of the What the Sheep podcast, where we will be breaking down and discussing episode 125 of Campaign 2. This was quite a juicy, lore-filled episode, and there is so much to unravel. So, without wasting any time whatsoever, well, actually, we started a couple minutes late because Alana and I were just gushing over the Mighty Vibes, the Mighty Vibes art. Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
We love Grog and Pike, and we had potential to maybe see them this episode, depending on where they are in the world. You know, if they were in Amman, maybe we could have, But not to jump ahead.
Anyway.
Not to jump ahead.
Go on, jump ahead.
Because we don't jump ahead on this podcast at all.
No.
But let's start off with Yusa. They arrived back in the tower, and Yusa had not really any new information to give, since he's kind of new to all of this, Isocross Aor stuff as well. But what I was sad about was that he wasn't going to be actively helping them, going to Aor to help them and conduct his own research and stuff. He's very much in the mindset of self-preservation, which is understandable, but it would have been nice to see Yusa in action.
Do you kind of think with Yusa, I felt like at this session, he's now gotten to the point where maybe not necessarily seeing the Mighty Nine as equals, but like he's acting a lot more relaxed around them. It was kind of like the Essek effect of Essek was super commanding and super in charge whenever he was dealing with the Mighty Nine, and now he's kind of seen on their level. I felt the same with Yusa. Like Yusa was very in control. He was like their elder in terms, I guess, of skills and things like that. And now he seems like he's kind of on their level again. Like he's talking to them so much more casually and so much more less authoritatively. Yeah. Yeah, so
no, that's interesting.
But no, it's so good to like see him. I found it interesting that he said he'd been back in the Happy Fun Ball like 2 more times. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of because Yusa then explained how I've been in there 2 times. So while they haven't seen each other for several weeks in real time, for Yusa, it may have only been like a couple days since he's seen the party, which is kind of wild to think about. Which is still
maybe he's still feeling a little bit like, oh, these guys had to come save me. Like, I fucked up. Like these people helped me, which would be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but I've liked seeing their relationships progress with these various, very powerful allies that they have. We saw, obviously you were talking about with Essek, that relationship grew. With Yusa, obviously the most prominent one right now. But then, again, not to jump ahead in this episode, but then seeing the dynamic sort of balance out between Bo and Dairon, and also kind of Bo and Udala in a way.
Yeah.
There's a lot more respect being shown both ways now, and it's super cool to see that not only is the party progressing in their own power and capabilities, but they're also progressing in status as well,
and other people's estimations of them, which is really cool.
Yeah. Not sure if that's the wisest thing to do. They shouldn't overestimate them too much.
What did you think about Caleb being the one talking to Hellas?
Okay. I think Caleb is the perfect and also the worst person to have talk to Hellas. Because, again, I'm like 60-40 on Caleb going evil. So, but again, Caleb still has like a good head on his shoulders, I think. Yeah. So he like,
I don't know. I thought it was a terrible idea. I thought the first time they were so smart about letting Bo talk to them, because it's like they don't know what's going to happen if he takes control. Like he might just be able to cast spells regularly, like as himself. But I like that their
Hmm.
reasoning of, well, maybe if he's in Bo's body, he won't be able to cast spells. I think he probably would be able to, but it was
Yeah.
sound reasoning for the
Yeah.
choice of Bo. I think
Hmm.
with Caleb, it's just like, let's just tease him a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see how we go. Um,
Hmm.
and I think Caleb was fine in the sense that I don't think he would have been like, oh hey, Halas, let's crack a deal sort of thing. At
Yeah.
least not right now. But I think it was a terrible idea for him to like risk having his body taken over by Halas. But man, I wanted it to happen.
I know, like when Matt had him roll the wisdom saving throw, I was like, please fail.
Please
Please
fail.
fail.
Yeah. Come on, you failed so many
Yeah,
before.
yeah. You self-stunned yourself so many times in the past for burning humanoids.
Yeah.
Um
Um,
but I think it progressed well. And
yeah.
I think because I feel like a part of Caleb was willing to like humor Halas and maybe come to some kind of a deal because they kind of had their little deal going, but Caleb wasn't very committed to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Caleb got a taste of what Halas is capable of and his way with
Yeah.
words in a way.
Mm.
So I feel like in the future Caleb's going to be a bit more careful. So I think
I
this
don't
was definitely a good. Do you not
I
think
don't
he'd be more
I
careful?
don't I don't no, I don't think they should talk to Halas
Mm.
again.
Oh,
Like I love it. I think Halas is an incredible character. I
yeah.
think the first time someone touches that, he's just like going in. He's in like a position of like, it's like that kind of classic movie line, like you're in no position to make demands with Halas. But
Hmm.
he kind of is. He's got the ability to jump. It's just he keeps like they keep resisting. Um
Hmm.
but I don't know. I think the next person that touches it, Halas is just going to be going at it
Yeah,
to
yeah. And Andrea
get
in
out.
chat makes a really good point, saying that I don't think Colossus is going to talk to them anymore without
Yeah,
attacking them and
I don't
taking them
think so
over.
either.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah,
He's so he's done with their shit.
yeah. Well, and fair, totally
Yeah,
fair. Like
honestly.
even if he is an evil, powerful
Yeah.
archmage, yeah, he's been trapped.
And
um,
I wonder how Colossus like mental stability is. Like I wonder what
oh,
it's
probably
like
not.
being trapped in that gem all by
Probably
yourself.
not great. Look at that devil that was in his like folding halls. I feel like maybe
Oh
the
yeah.
devil might have gone a bit further because they weren't necessarily trapped in one small space. They had like an environment around them. But you got to think being there for like 1,000 years with no sense of time passage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be. He's not going to be the most stable.
No, definitely not. Yeah,
Um,
that dude is insane. Yeah. Yep.
and I kind of get the sense that like he wants to just work on his magic, but I feel
Hmm.
like that magic is not the best magic. Like it could have
No.
terrible ramifications.
Because
Like
he was working on like soul transferring,
yeah,
right?
he was working on immortality, which is
Yeah.
very lich like.
Yeah.
That's
That's
very, very,
yeah,
very much
yeah.
like
He's
wanting
pretty
to be a
much
lich
trying to figure out how to become a lich without outright
without,
saying I'm trying to.
yeah, without like selling your soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found it interesting that he was talking about how like Aor collapsed before his time, um, before like the his floating city. I thought that was
Hmm.
really cool. He didn't necessarily have much to say about the Somnovum. Like he talked about them, but he didn't seem to let on or even know that it succeeded or like it separated from the city, which I think is interesting. I think
Mm.
people at that time must have just assumed it went down with Ale, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking now it left and that's what caused Ale to crash. Like
Oh yeah.
if that part of the city just disappears to the
Hmm.
astral sea, the rest of the city's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it happened. Like
Hmm.
it's a bit
Especially if they need like because the threshold crests were a means of levitating the city as well, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine if.
Maybe not levitating the city. Those were those battery things.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. But again,
The quest allowed the city to move to
yes,
different places
yes,
around the
that's what
world.
it was. But again, given your theory being correct, if some of these batteries were in the Cognosa district and the city needs all of the batteries it has to fly. If one of the sections goes away, yeah, it could probably mean
Yeah, it's
disaster
like
for the rest of
it's like
the.
the wheel falling off your car. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah, you need them
no, I
all.
needed that. That creepy wheel that's always dreaming. I still needed that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Um,
but we did get a nice. While I'm disappointed that we won't get to see Yusa in his golden dragon form traveling with the party. He
100.
did give the party a few nice spells, some gifts. The
Yeah.
scepter of blasting, some pieces of amber, and the spell. What was it? Into like intellectual fortress or something? Intellectual.
No, that was Allura gave
Oh, that was
him.
Allura. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was Allura.
No, it was the staff of blasting, and I can't remember. It was something
I think it
else.
was.
It was something in a satchel. It was something in a satchel. Was it? Oh, potions.
Yeah,
Potions.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I said,
potions. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
said it
yeah,
wrong and typed it in.
yeah. Yes, that's
Uh,
what it was.
thank you, Lynn.
Two superiors.
Thank,
That's
thank
the.
you, Lynn.
Is
Thank
that?
you, everyone. There's a bit of delay.
Here it comes. Yep. Here it comes. See, the chat, the viewers, they have our backs. They've got
Yeah,
us.
100%.
The superior ones, yeah, 84 plus 8. Yeah, those are pretty. Those are nice. Those are
Yeah, that's
nice.
real good. That's real good.
Yeah.
They're expensive too. Like
Yeah, they're
like a handsome
that's.
gift.
But I feel like it's interesting because I feel like at a certain point, like when you're a wizard, like at some point, I feel like money just becomes like
Oh,
irrelevant.
and if you're a gold dragon,
And if
like
you're a gold dragon, gold is in your name. Like you're
I
oozing
kind of want
money.
to know more about Yusa's involvement with local politics because he seems to really fucking hate it. um,
Yeah.
he seems to have like this disdain for the local rigmarole, and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
it sounds stupid. I hope that's like a one shot at some point of like people doing a job for
Yeah.
Yusa because just like I grow tired of council meetings and things like that. I just yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love that character. I wish they would just turn into a dragon already.
I know, but I feel like I'm wondering if this is if Yusa is going to be one of the characters where it's in the campaign wrap up where he's like, yeah, he was a gold dragon, and like we'll never actually see like a reveal.
Yeah,
Because I mean, right now, like Yusa doesn't really have like a call to action right now for the time being, at least. So
didn't Yusa say like I could maybe be backup? Did Yusa say like, look, the best I could do is maybe like a second wave?
yes,
Um,
yes,
but
he did
they
mention
might have
that.
meant like if you fail, then like I
Yeah.
can be ready.
Hmm.
Not so much I'll teleport to Isocross and back you up.
Yeah,
Um, I
but
wonder though,
it'd
like
be super cool.
imagine if they're like in Isocross, they're going down and just sends a message like saying, "Help, help us now! This is where
Yeah.
we are."
Ooh, and then we get like an Avengers scene where like all of the allies appear through portals. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
canon.
yeah. Ooh,
It's
that's
just
gonna
in game.
happen.
It's just like the
But then, in this battle, they're gonna hear like a dragon's roar, and they're gonna be like,
this
"Oh
fan
shit,
fiction.
Gelodon's back! Gelodon's back!"
Yeah,
And they're gonna see the wings flapping. But as it gets closer, they realize it's a gold dragon.
yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it's
Get
gonna
into the
be.
writers' room.
Mm. Yeah, we got to be careful. I feel like we get too close to what they're planning.
Oh my goodness. Um, but they also mentioned at one point saying that, uh, like, it was brought up a lot this idea that mages are like super covetous, they're super kind of power driven, and
Hmm.
Yusa brought it up and Allura brought it up,
Yeah.
and they mentioned like, Yusa said they were concerned if they went to a place like that, like how their power would go unchecked, saying like
Mm,
the fact that it is so tumultuous magic up there, they were concerned that they would not be able to control their magic. It made me
yeah.
think a little bit like, is Yusa like fully wizard? Is Yusa maybe like are they just concerned the fact that like, oh, they would feel the power and use it, or is it like is there some wild magic going on with Yusa? Like what was that about? I think it might have just been the idea that like, oh, that is powerful magic up there. I would probably try to utilize it, but
Yeah.
it made me think for 1 second like maybe they don't have, because we've not really seen Yusa do much magic except for like,
Yeah. I mean, he
I
definitely,
mean, got a cool tower and shit, but you know.
yeah. And Yusa doesn't strike me as the one to like show off. It's kind of like, beneath him. Like he knows what he's capable of. He knows
Yeah,
his
he's not the
power
type of
level.
person to just float everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Like losers, like who would who floats everywhere to flex their capabilities.
Oh my goodness.
But I did like
Excellent. Excellent.
um I think it was looking at my notes. I think it was a during this time ish, maybe a little bit after their conversation with Yusa, when they were talking about they were trying to bring back the Luxon into it and the beacons, trying to make the connection of like, ooh, did the
Yes.
Somnovan like create these and stuff? I like how Matt will go a while and like let them theorize, let them talk it out. But then if they keep
Figure it
talking in
out.
circles and keep like misremembering things and stuff, then he'll have,
Yeah,
like he did, he had them roll a history check and then re-clarified everything.
because yeah, I think they were going maybe too far off the
Yeah.
path
Hmm.
and kind of thinking, yeah, this is it. And he's like, oh, this could probably lead to some further misinformation, which is
Hmm.
fair. Like, because sometimes, because as a DM, like you've got all the information, and you watch the
Yeah.
players kind of get the information wrong. You're like, oh god,
Yeah.
okay, like
Hmm.
let's just smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah.
No, that was good, and it was good too because I'd forgotten half of that stuff about the
Hmm.
Luxon.
Yeah.
Um,
Been
it
like
was really
over
interesting.
50 episodes since we've gotten all that stuff.
Hoping we
It's
get
crazy to think.
some kind of clarification on the Luxon by the
Hmm.
end of the campaign.
They they're
So cool. It's such a cool. That's what I was thinking too when he was retelling. I was like, "Damn, that's a cool idea for a god, Matt. Like,
yeah.
that's so clever."
Yeah, it
Um,
is. And they really need to get an audience with the Bright Queen because I feel like she's going to have so much information for them. But again, they're not as close. I feel like the Bright
I know.
Queen is
She's
they're
always
not as
been a
close
little
to the
bit.
Bright Queen as some of the other people.
I also worry if they go see the Bright Queen, she's going to interrogate them about Essek, or like interrogate them because
Ooh.
Essek was saying like how it's his connection to them that makes him even more suspicious because they're from the
Yeah.
Empire. Like, I worry if they go to Jorhas, it's going to just be all eyes on them,
Oh,
and they're going to
that's
say
probably
something.
true. Yeah. Uh,
um, but I still definitely think they should go see her. I just think it's going to be
100%.
really tricky because, like you said, yeah, they're not as close. She's been friendly to them, and she was
Hmm.
very like grateful for them returning the beacon, but they're not best buds.
I
Like
don't think they haven't even talked since the peace talks, I think.
they didn't even talk to her at the peace talks. Like I don't think
Yeah.
they've spoken to her since they went and spoke to her about the the shackles being broken, about
Yes. Yeah.
I think before they destroyed Oban, I think they were like talking about like stuff there. God,
Hmm.
if anyone can tell us the last time they spoke to, I know Jester sent messages, but when was the last time they had an audience with her during the
Oh man, yeah,
talks?
that's been a while.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
They
Jester
were arrested. The
messaged the
spa
Bright
house.
Queen.
Oh, that's what I was thinking, Adam. Yeah, like when they went and to the spa and they went in all their get up.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's crazy to think that episode 90 is a long time ago. Like
Yeah. I
but it's also hard because we had like a super long break, like 4
Yeah.
months or something, so and that
And
doesn't
there
help,
was
but
nothing really going on in that break to kind of distract us from it.
yeah.
that that was a hard time to think. But
Hmm.
like I was saying this in a chat we had with some like other video editors a little while ago. Like I remember stuff from the first 30 episodes really clearly, and I
Yeah.
remember stuff from the last 10 episodes really clearly.
Hmm.
Everything in between is just like a blur to me. Like I remember bits, but
Yeah.
I've lost it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
who was that character again?
Hmm.
Like to be fair, I remember characters. I just don't remember when things happened, why they happened. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
yeah,
It's
it's
just,
rough,
yeah.
but
I think I need to do a rewatch, but I got no
gosh,
time for that.
I know. Oh gosh, a rewatch of this campaign because I mean it's already longer than the first campaign. First
I
campaign
watched
takes
the
a
first campaign once as well,
yeah.
but I also remember that way more clearly than the
Mm,
more recent Mighty Nine episodes.
hmm
I think maybe because the story's a little bit more straightforward in some aspects.
Yeah, yeah,
But anyway, enough
yeah.
of my bad memory.
And the Yusa mentioning Allura automatically made me like,
Yes.
oh, Allura.
Yes.
And then when he was like, oh, I can take you to her.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
oh shit, we can do that. I was like,
That
dang,
was
Matt,
like
that's bold.
Matt's face through that whole scene. He has the best poker face because the cast are like reasonably freaking out about it. They're like, "Oh my god, like,
Yeah,
are we going to Amon? Like, what's
yeah,
happening?" And Matt's just like, "Yeah, we'll just do it." like,
yeah.
um, that was so cool. Uh, uh, I had like there's this warm feeling in my chest when they said they
Hmm
were going to Amon. Um, oh my god, yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Amon.
yeah. So they teleport to Iman to Alora's tower.
How
Oh, and of course we see the wonderful description of Alora once again as she descends the stairs and warmly greets the party. Oh, I was shocked because I felt that Matt was gonna want to like keep the two campaigns separate. So I was shocked that he even brought the party there. Um,
I think
because
that was
then that is like a stepping stone for them exploring further and stuff, which is fine. I'm totally
yeah.
here for it. But
I think that is like Matt trusting his players not
yeah,
to um disrail the campaign.
yeah, yeah,
Much as we wanted to
yeah,
like run into the city and go to like Gilmore's Glorious Goods and
yep.
like go to the Slayers Take Bakery that I think is an on now. Like as much as we wanted to, I think Matt trusted the players enough to like realize, oh, we're on a time crunch. We probably can't do that, and also it's probably a
Yeah.
bit too self-serving, both
Hmm
self-serving, probably fan-serving
Yeah.
to do it. Like because the players themselves are fans of their own game. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think yeah, they were very much like and I know Kayla was a bit at the end like, oh well, we could stay here tonight, and they're like, no, we probably shouldn't. It's
hmm
like fair, fair. Use your spell slots now, then sleep. like,
I
um,
guess we'll do that.
yeah, I guess so. But yeah, no, it was still just that little tease of Amon
Hmm
was lovely. Um, like being in the tower, her mentioning Vorogul's attack on the tower.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. And the
talking about
mention of Artagan was also really
that was so
hilarious.
cool. That was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, and I think Laura did that on purpose,
Yeah, she did.
but
She
she
did.
played it so coolly. Like, oh, my friend, Artagan, and
Yeah.
then it's just like, oh, no, that's really cool. I think I think again, I feel like Laura would question that more and be like, "Tell me more about Artagan," but I think that again was Matt playing it
Yeah.
cool so that it didn't derail the
hmm
story.
hmm
Um, because I feel like in reality, Laura would be like, "Give me the details. Where
Yeah.
is he?"
Please tell me. Yeah. Where is he at? What's he up
And like
to?
all the subtle references to, "Oh, I know people like you
Yep.
before," or like,
Yeah.
"I've seen similar groups." Yeah,
Yeah.
so
We got that. Yeah, we got that a couple
yeah,
times during that conversation.
or
And I
like yeah,
was,
oh, the council.
oh,
You're working on the council. Like, oh, maybe you'll
yeah,
meet them. Like, yeah,
yeah. Oh,
very,
well.
very.
I feel like because I feel like he kind of has to do this a little bit of a setup because aren't
Yeah.
they going to have like a canon like Vox Machina Mighty Nine crossover because of like a milestone they hit, or is it? I'm still so confused. Is that going to be a battle royale? I'm still so confused on like the
I thought it
logistics of
was a
that.
battle royale.
So did I,
Um,
but I've heard like so many
no,
mixed things.
I'm looking up the Kickstarter right now. Or was it in? Did they do Kickstarter or Indiegogo? I can't remember. It's been a while. Let's look at the actual thing. But I thought it was a battle royale one shot. That might not be the case. I'm sure I can't see chat right now. I'm sure they are telling me. I'm still looking for it. Okay.
Yeah, Adam's saying it's just a crossover, not a battle royale.
One shot. It just says one shot. Vox Machina X Mighty Nine. It doesn't say
Oh,
versus Mighty Nine. It just says X Mighty Nine.
oh,
So yeah, we've got no details. We don't even know if it's canon. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's
that's
true.
right. Battle Royale was guessed. Thank you, Game Squad.
Ah, gotcha.
And anyone else that might have said that I missed.
Okay.
um,
Well, that
yeah,
that
no.
solves
So
that.
yeah, Freedom. It's just Vox Machina X Mighty Nine. So that's
Hmm.
like together rather than Adam's got it perfect. X is more for crossover, versus more battle royale. Look at that. Look at this semantics.
We've got it.
We
But
got it.
I was
know nothing about it.
yeah, I know. But I was so excited to see Kima again because
I
I think the
love
last time.
him as my favorite character from the first campaign.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think I've mentioned it on the show before, but I love halflings. So,
Oh
I
my.
know I love Kima so much.
Mhm.
I know what your reaction just then was for. I think.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we'll get to
I
that.
mentioned it. Yep.
But no, I love Kima so much. Kima is incredible. Kima is like goals of who I
Oh,
want
I
to be.
know. Oh, so
Um,
good.
I love her and Allura
I
together. Just
her just like subtly like sitting between like subtly sitting between
yeah.
Allura and the rest of the party, like analyzing them, making sure they're not up to any shenanigans.
Um,
I love
I
them so
like
much.
someone really early on in the chat said you we pushed too hard for the Boyasha date that we got Allura and Kima.
Oh,
Like,
oh, a different gay. We
yeah.
got a different gay.
Oh
Hey,
man.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my
it
god.
was great. And
It's
then
so good.
we did
And
not only was it just wonderful to see them and the fan service was great, but the Mighty Nine also got some really great tools
oh my
from
god.
this. Like I feel
Star
like the
power.
odds are closer to in their favor now.
I had it up and then I got rid of it. But the Staff of Power, it's essentially like 6 or
It's
7 extra spell
yeah.
slots for Caleb.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's I'll bring it up in case anyone isn't
It's a
familiar
lot.
with it, but I'm sure everyone either knew it or looked it up. But it's 20 charges for
Mhm.
multiple different
And I think
spells.
it's 5 charges like per spell, I think.
Per
And
spell.
they're like 5th level spells. I think most of them are.
Or
5th
even
level or
some of them,
higher.
they're like, it does like Ray of Enfeeblement, which is a 2nd level spell, which you can
Hmm.
only use 1 charge for, which is pretty handy. So
Yeah.
it's oh my god,
And
lightning.
I think it also gives like
Double barrel.
plus 2 to
Yep,
spell
double
attack rolls
barrel.
as well, which is
Yep.
nuts.
+2 to armor
And
class
plus 2
saving
to
throws and
AC.
physical attack
Oh my.
rolls.
Oh god, it's so
The +2
good.
to saving throws is
Massive.
baller. Like, I get the toss up he was making between the Iron Stone and
Yeah.
the staff. I think the Iron Stone is excellent for that
Mhm.
con bonus for, like he said, concentration specs. I think the benefits of the staff outweigh that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
it's going to
100%.
be interesting seeing Caleb use a staff though, like because that's going to be a focus. Although I wonder if he will still continue to use components, like, and just
Oh,
use the staff as the staff. But
that'd be interesting.
it's such good stuff.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously
Yeah.
powerful. Um,
Yeah. And they got the big one because obviously the staff is badass, but for the sake of the entire party, getting those orbs that sort of
yeah,
show the location of where the anti magic zone is going to come in super clutch, super clutch.
yeah. I also wrote down before that so they're the arcane field generators. That's really cool. I
Yes.
like. Yeah, Taliesin at one point said it's like a smoke machine in a laser room,
Yeah.
like lasers.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty cool. But I wrote Allura said like as you guys are building towards this climactic struggle,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that feels like an end.
Oh yeah, yeah. I felt that too, and I was worried until some of the stuff that was brought up
Yeah,
in the second half of the episode because I feel like Matt was setting up a lot more
yeah.
arcs.
I saw some really good comments of that saying like it feels like we're building up to an end, but it also feels like Matt recognized people were feeling that and is kind of
Yeah.
showing that there is potentially still more after this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the talk of even traveling to the Astral Sea, like it feels like Isocross is one arc. If they have to go to the Astral Sea, that's like a whole nother arc, I feel like.
Probably, yeah.
And then the things that follow, which we can get to in a little bit. But
Hmm. Yeah.
the yeah, no. So good to see Allura, so good to see Kima. Kima going back up the stairs and coming back down in full plate armor was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. She was ready to go. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
sword? The Holy Avenger?
That's my
Sword
god.
with that
Yeah.
clutch natural 20.
Oh god, we're gonna get to the dreams at the end, but
Yeah.
god damn it, Matt. Like, because when Kim was given, I was like, oh, like, what's is like, because it's like, yeah, it needs to be attuned by a paladin.
Hmm.
It's like, how's that going to work? And of course, he thought of that. Of course, that's like an
Yeah.
actual thing. But I want to know how much he did think about that, because he seemed to suggest that Kima only really gave it because Ford rolled like a natural 20, like gave
Uh-huh.
a 25 persuasion check. So I'm wondering if there was, or if he even had that ready. He probably did, he's Matt fucking Mercer. But like, I want to know kind of what he had ready for Yasha, if not the Holy Avenger, or if it is now just like an extra tool or an extra key for the Storm Lord to kind of communicate with her or to kind of guide her and push her.
Hmm.
Because yeah, if that wasn't there previously, like I've seen chat going on a bit. We'll get to Yasha's dream, but I see a lot of chat talking about like, is she going to multi-class, that sort of thing. I got thoughts. We'll get to it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different ways they can circumvent
Oh yeah,
the specific rules. Because I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, they're trying to tell a fun story. You know, it's their game, so they can bend the rules however they see fit.
exactly, yeah.
And thematically, the journey that
Yeah.
Yasha has taken, it makes sense for her to be able to wield such a weapon
Oh yeah,
once she's proven herself in the Stormlord's eyes.
yeah.
So
Oh
definitely
my
looking forward to that.
goodness.
I was I was kind of
What else?
like shocked at how many like free things that the party was getting, because then they got 500 gold
Yeah.
of residuum. They got all
Oh
these
my god.
things. Veth got her spell. Like, dang, I was like, wow, sheesh,
Yeah. That
they're
it
ready.
feels like, yeah, like they people are taking them seriously for once.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like so many
yeah,
times they've come to people and be like, "Hey, there's this really bad thing happening. We need your help," and they're like, "Okay, I'll look into it," like sort of thing. Um, I feel like that, like Yusa and Allura are taking them super seriously, and
yeah,
um, this is their best way they can help. I still,
yeah.
I still worry about like it's hard, and I know we talked about last week of how why don't they just call in Vox Machina to help? I know why. Alana knows why.
Yeah.
But like it's tricky to justify, I guess, and
Hmm.
I like that they're just not even bringing it up because there's no point. Like it's
Yeah.
not going to happen. So
Yeah.
why kind of bring it up? But it is, yeah. I think like we said last week, it's probably just because they're old.
Hmm.
They're retired. Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
most likely what it is. Um, but also, I feel like, because when I look back and I'm imagining like Vox Machina and stuff, 20 something years have passed.
Yeah.
They're probably not all like still together always. They're
Yeah.
probably off doing their own thing.
Their own
So
lives. Yeah.
Alora, seeing how capable the Mighty Nine can be, is probably like, well, it's probably better off if I just let them try to handle this than try to gather every member of Vox Machina when they're all off doing their own things. Maybe
Yeah.
even some of them semi-retired.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it kind of makes sense why Alora wouldn't immediately be like, oh, something's the smallest terrible thing might be happening. All right, I'm gonna call up
Yeah.
a Vox Machina real quick. Um,
Yeah. Or at least the
so that's it.
Darrington Brigade. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Call them up. They're capable.
BT.
Yeah, the B team.
Vox Machina BT.
Oh my gosh. I wonder when we're gonna get another.
The sudden shift in like tone of this
Oh my
arc. Even
god.
like, hey, the Darrington Brigade's here.
I am here for that. I can't wait for the next Darrington Brigade one shot. I hope we
That's
get
so
it.
good. Yeah. So good.
Was there anything
Um,
else that happened while they were
no,
in Allure's tower? Because again, they didn't really get any new information
yeah.
because, like Allura was saying, like they're the most knowledgeable about this now. Like,
And it was just more like letting her be aware. So she said, like, well, if you do
yeah.
fail, then we can be prepared, which I like as well. The fact that she said, I can do more here. I can actually get some semblance of preparedness, I
Mhm.
guess. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I hope we get to see Allura and Kima again soon. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to see them again eventually because all of these items that have been given are just loaners. So they're gonna have to
Yeah.
give back these awesome things.
That's gonna
But
suck.
just the fact that Allura was willing to part with her staff is crazy.
Yeah. That's huge. Like,
Because the staff is badass and it's awesome that they have it, but the fact that it's Allura's
Aluru's stuff.
staff, like it is
Yeah.
hers.
Yeah. KM68 mentions, like, because we knew that it was a vestige because it exalted, but the fact that it's
Yes.
now like known to the characters
Yeah.
is really exciting.
Pretty big. Yeah.
It further it had that lovely. I love whenever Ford thanks Caduceus. I know
Yeah.
it's like such a small thing,
Yeah.
but it's just so like, yeah, like, oh, it warms my heart when they're wild mother bros.
Yep. The Wild Bros.
Just wish it happened a little more. I wish there was a little more kind of care and attention paid to
And
Caduceus.
there might be, given some of the dreams that happened later in the episode.
Yeah,
There could be. Um,
yeah. Wild bros.
but I think that was about it. There wasn't too much more that happened in Alora's
No.
tower. They kind of hinted at maybe staying in Amon for the night, but they're like, we probably shouldn't be
No.
wasting any
Yeah.
more time. We really need to get a handle on.
That's I'm constantly still also super stressed every time they say, like, oh, we've got a week. And then they do say, like, let's cut it down. Like, let's say half of that like is when we should be doing. I'm so
Hmm.
worried that they don't have as much time as they think they do.
Yeah.
Um
Oh.
I don't think Matt would be as cruel to be like, let them just think that nonstop. I think he might like encourage them to, like, think about it more, get them to make some checks to think about it in
Mhm.
more detail. But the fact that it's just like, ooh, yeah, they seem so confident that they have at least a week to get their stuff done.
Mhm.
Or if they don't, then oh no.
Yeah. And I just remembered who. I mean, there's an obvious answer, but who do we think was scrying on them when they first got to the tower?
Laura's Tower. I think it has to be Lucian, right? Like,
Probably. I mean, that's what I could assume because they hadn't gone. This
they
was
didn't
before they went to the Cobalt Soul, so it's not like any of them would be paying attention. So yeah, the
they
most
didn't
obvious one is probably Lucian.
They didn't check in Yusa's tab. I find it strange that Allura wouldn't have anti-scrying magic. Or she might, in which case it's even more terrifying that there's like
Yeah.
someone scrying. But
Yep.
the fact that she was not like, what? Like, what is this? She was just like, oh, okay, that's not good. Makes me think she doesn't have anti-scrying magic in her
Hmm.
tower. Again, making me think, why not? That
Yeah.
seems like a prerequisite for
Hmm.
wizards. Um, but yeah, I think
But,
it has to be Lucian. I'm not sure who
hmm.
else it could be.
And
Um,
hopefully that scares him a little bit, seeing that the Nine have some powerful ally. Well, maybe not scare, because we all know that the arrogance of Lucian.
I think he's trying to see where they might have taken the crest.
Oh yeah, that too. That
um,
too. The Mighty Nine doesn't
sometimes
even know where they where they've taken the crest.
that's amazing. That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, they kind of do, thanks to the amplification room
Yeah, that was
in
really
Eustace Tower. That was cool.
the residuum room.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
yeah, I agree, Adam. The resolve has been bolstered. It's been such a slog this
Mm-hmm.
arc.
Yeah.
Not to watch by any means, but like just
No,
for the
it's just
characters,
been
it's been
rough
so
for
tense
them. Mm-hmm.
and so rough and so hard. This episode, in general, was so cathartic. It was
Mm-hmm.
so good.
Yeah. I feel hopeful again. Is this hope? Is that what this feeling is?
But it was a good episode because
Mm.
there was massive character growth. There was excellent callbacks. There
Yep.
was travel. There was like just lighthearted moments. There wasn't as much stress. It didn't have combat. Like you don't need combat for a perfect episode,
Hmm.
but it feels almost like a perfect episode because it just had so much good planning, so much progression,
Yeah.
so much interesting conversation, an excellent cliffhanger at the end, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Um, the right amount of grief and foreboding. It was the perfect length. 4 hours is good.
Yeah.
Like if it gets longer than that, it gets hard.
Yeah.
But perfect length, and it was at the right time because it's just been so like pushing us down recently that I was just like so enjoying it. Like
Hmm.
I had to watch it after it streamed live. I was watching it a few hours after it finished. And normally when I do that, I'll watch it like sped up. I'll watch it at
Oh
like
yeah.
1.5
Hmm.
speed because then it's starting to get too late and I need to go to
Hmm.
bed. But I watched it at regular speed because it was just so well paced and it was so
Yeah.
well presented that man, I loved it. It might be one of my favorite episodes of this campaign,
That
just
was a good
because
one.
of yeah, just because of it was fun. It was so
Yeah.
fun. Like
Hmm.
and it wasn't like happy fun ball fun. It was just an enjoyable classic D&D. Reminded me a lot of campaign 1. I think that might be why I liked it so much.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it could just because they went
Could just because Laura and Kima showed up and they're in the mind,
but no,
yeah.
I think it was
But
like such and yeah, everyone was on their A game. Like it was
oh yeah,
such a good episode.
very very wonderful. But I think the looking at my notes. Oh, that happened later in the episode. Okay, never mind. Um, but then sadly, parting ways with Allura and
Yeah.
Kima, but going to Rexingtrum to touch base with Udala and potentially Dyron, and we got some pretty massive stuff for Bo
Yeah.
happen. Some
That
pretty
was
some justice and validation, as Adam put
oh
it.
yeah. Really unexpected.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Really good. Like I just constantly with continuing my rant of how good an episode this was. It felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
Not to overuse the word cathartic, but it was super cathartic. And fucking Marusha Ray, like the way she played that scene
Yeah,
was like beautiful. I went
yeah.
back and rewatched just that scene as well because oh god, I love Bo when she is like reflective like that and when she's kind of
Mm-hmm.
quiet and contemplative. Um, oh my god, yeah, bravo! That
I
was
know.
maybe one of the best scenes of the campaign. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And Xenoth,
yeah,
like, ooh, because and this was the first potential future story arc, or something could come of it because Matt gave the 2 month timeline of when the trial was going to
yeah,
happen.
yes,
So that's now
yeah. That
something
felt
else
good.
that the party can look forward to.
That felt like yeah, we're looking to the future
Yeah.
rather than this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
um,
So we'll have that. We'll have that.
yeah,
I bet Yasha. Well, I was gonna say like I bet Yasha regrets not killing Xenoth because Xenoth was one of the ones that was in Zadash when Yasha attacked. But if she did kill him, then we wouldn't have gotten this
you got
revelation.
messed up though,
So,
right? Like you got really messed
yeah,
up in that
yeah,
attack. Yeah.
he was close.
That's yeah, that's so surprising because it's always been a little bit of a thing hanging over the Cobalt Soul in this campaign. Like, because I feel like when it first started and like Bo's like, yeah, I went to this boarding school, you're like, oh yeah, sounds like a, kind of troubled teen. And then when
Mhm.
you learn more about her backstory of like, no, her father sold her to them, you're like, oh shit, that's fucked up. The
Mhm.
fact that now there is this kind of closure to that side of the story of no, that is not normal. That
Mhm.
is abuse. That
Yeah.
is illegal. It is like human trafficking to an
Mhm.
extent. Um, and to see that there is change happening and that it's being held accountable and the people that did it are being held
Yeah.
accountable. God, I hope her father is held accountable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and it's also a bit of closure for Bo's storyline because we've been saying that for a while. Like, I feel like there's still more for Bo's story. Like, I never felt like it kind of closed off properly with her father. Not saying that she needs like this big reconciliation with her father. No, fuck that. But
Hmm.
like there needs to be some kind of outcome from that, and I feel like we're getting that with this aspect. Um, but yeah, it's totally unexpected. One of
Yeah,
the
it's
deaths
it's
to
it's
happen.
so interesting because I felt the same way with Bo's story arc, where it felt like there's something more. There is more to Bo's story than
Mm.
just where it had left off. And it's crazy how one small thing, one small piece of information, Xenoth was bribed by her father to take her to Cobalt Soul. That small thing
Yeah,
has now just opened up like the rest of her story arc just with that one small revelation. Um,
and I wonder I wonder if Marisha, when she was coming up with Bo's background of like, yeah, my father gave me to the soul, like when she was coming up with Bo's background and telling Matt, like saying like, yeah, this is that she joined the monks, like not by
mhm.
choice. I wonder how much she had prepared for that to be like,
Mm.
obviously like a traumatic experience, but I
Yeah.
wonder how much that was like. I mean, Bo said herself that she thought that was normal. She thought that's what
Hmm.
happened, and like everyone else did. Like I think all the
Yeah.
viewers and all the other characters thought that was normal. Thought like, oh shit, this super kind of um, uh, righteous and positive force in the world can do shit like this. That's not cool. Like
Yeah.
not everything's so perfect, but like I think it kind of threw Marisha a bit as well, which is where we get that incredible acting from in her
Yeah.
scene. Um, yeah, man,
But it's
it was a
interesting
lot
that
of
you say
fun.
that because not only was this a wonderful point of growth for Bo, realizing
Yeah.
all of this, but now it also, as she kind of said, maybe strengthens her bond with the Cobalt Soul because
Yeah,
now it's all cleared up.
yeah, and strengthens her bond with Darren because
Yeah.
they took her at her word and they
Hmm.
did something about it. That
Yeah.
was such a beautiful scene. Like Udala Fawn, whatever, was wonderful because they kind
Oh
of
yeah.
took on the authoritative side of the Cobalt Soul,
Yeah.
saying, "Look, we fucked up.
Yeah.
We're so sorry. This will never kind of happen again. This is what we're doing. This is the steps we're taking to make it right." But with Dyron and Bo, it was very much like a thank you for like looking out for me.
Yeah.
Dyron saying like I like this happened to me as well, sort of thing, or like to some extent,
Hmm.
like I've been abused by those in power before. Yeah, didn't expect to be touched that much by a Cobalt Soul
No,
storyline.
did not.
Um,
Did not think so either, but
it makes me happy. Like
yeah.
it just makes me happy. It's a sad thing. It's a super sad thing that happened, but it's just so like I don't know. It makes it raises their esteem in my eyes, I guess.
Hmm. But then
Yeah,
the another potential story arc that was hinted at, kind of, was Udala mentioning that King Dwendal is investigating the Cerberus
yeah,
Assembly with his own troop. So there's
organ
some
trust.
stuff moving in the background, in that aspect. Um,
That's really cool.
yeah,
I like. I feel like yeah, that could lead into their want to disassemble. That's the word. Um, disassemble the Cerberus Assembly because it feels like now
hmm,
it's coming from all sides. It's like the Organ Trust are honing in on them, the Cobalt Soul are honing in on them, the Mighty Nine are honing in on them.
yeah,
Um, and I 100% get where the Cobalt Soul is coming from. Like, ah, shit, we were working on this, and now
yeah.
it's
They're stealing our
this is taking it
thunder.
from us. Yeah. But it's super exciting. It's super scary because
It
think of
is.
Ludinus. I feel like him backed into a corner is not a good thing. Like,
No,
or
no,
like
no, 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 no.
Trandikathon backed into a corner is not a good thing.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. Yeah.
I'm.
Um,
But this, I'm terrified and I'm worried. But the Cerberus Assembly arc is like the one I've been most looking forward
mm,
to
yeah.
since we've known about them and their connection with Caleb.
Yeah.
Um, and we I don't
Super
think we
exciting.
haven't even met all of the members of the Cerberus Assembly yet. Still a couple that we're
Yeah,
missing.
they've all been mentioned by name.
Hmm.
And allow me to bring it up because I just was just looking at it actually. But There's one we haven't met that I want to meet. So we've got Trent, we've got Ludinus. There's Jenna Irisol,
Oh yeah,
who
she's the interesting one.
she's the interesting one that we only know. I think they were the one that ordered the Ring of Fire protection. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Which they now have. There is Dulan Tversky.
Your favorite.
Yeah, Athesius Uladan, who we have met.
Yes, we met him at the peace talks because he was like
Yeah,
the
they were
diplomatic
at
one.
Menagerie Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Athesius Uladan, Vesterogna we've met. She's dead. Um, Zivan Margolin.
No, never
Zion.
heard that one.
Never met them, and then Ormond Haas. So
Oh
really,
yeah.
it's only three that they haven't met in person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? I thought there was 9. 8, 8. There's 8.
Yeah, there better
Um,
only be 8. If there was 9, we were gonna have a problem.
oh, was it the Ioun Stone that they ordered, Lynn? That probably makes more
Hmm.
sense.
Yes, that
That makes
that
more sense
sounds
for the Ring
more.
of Fire resistance.
Yep, that sounds way more accurate.
But yeah, out of all of them, like that's scary to think if they kind of. I don't see any of them going quietly to jail.
No,
Like
definitely not. But
that's getting
also,
enemies of the state.
but also looking. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who doesn't have Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. The alignments of some of them
Oh
aren't
yeah,
bad.
interesting.
Like some of them aren't.
Yeah,
Some of them aren't like bad. But I mean, the obvious
yeah,
ones, Ludinus, Trent, Vess, they're the ones to look out for. Definitely. I mean,
yeah.
Vess not so much anymore, but
Trent's the interesting one actually.
mhm.
He's alignment. Um,
Yeah,
mild spoilers. Don't listen for 10 seconds
yep,
if you don't want to know. Trent's is chaotic evil,
hmm,
which is like
yeah,
like at least Ludinus is lawful evil. Like chaotic is oof.
yeah. That's
That's
a
not
whole different beast.
yeah.
At least like Ludinus, will be calculated with his approach, and not saying that Trent won't be,
Yeah,
but the chaotic nature of his alignment might mean he's going to be a bit more of a loose cannon if things get heavy.
definitely.
He won't hesitate to sacrifice his proteges, Aedwulf,
Yeah.
Astrid, and even Caleb. Oh, there's so much to worry about. There's so Halas who's Halas? Like we have other things to worry about right now. Okay.
Yeah. Like, do you
Oh
remember when Ukatoa was a threat?
yeah, right. Remember when we were worried about the Somnovum? We got Trent to worry about now. God, old news.
I'm still a bit worried about this.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's fair.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, it was wonderful seeing Dyron again, and at least now
Yeah.
they're gonna have people looking for the Threshold crest.
Yeah.
Hilariously,
That was amazing. The fact that it was such like a heartwarming conversation and it just ended with,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, by the way, we lost this super magical item." And it kind of went back to old Darren of, "Oh my god."
yeah.
Bo.
But one moment that kind of stuck with me this episode, and the party have had their own sidebar conversations with each other of like, oh my gosh, like this is some serious stuff we're getting in, like we could die. They haven't really had a collective conversation about it, because then when they were done with all of their meetings with Udala and Dyron, they were like, yeah, let's go to like Nicodranus and just have a day. Let's just have a day where we
Yeah.
chill. And they were like, well, we don't need to see our families right now. Like, why are we going back to see our families and all that stuff? And then they were
Oh,
like, well, what if we don't come back? And there was
that
just like
was
a silence. There was just a silence, and like everyone was like, oh shit.
Jester in that scene was just like, oh,
Yeah,
like I felt like crying. Yeah, that
yeah,
was terrifying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I felt that one.
because I was like, as they were mentioning, I was like, no, like, you guys don't have time. Like, go do, like,
Mm-hmm.
continue with your planning and everything. Get straight back there. But that makes so much sense. Of shit, we could die. Like, we need to go see our loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it makes me worry. Like, is Veth, if they do that, is Veth going to tell Yusa that that's what's happening? Is Jessica
Yeah.
going to tell her mother that like hey, I'm going back
The
again.
world might end.
Yeah, like I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't think Veth would.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think maybe to Yeza, obviously not to Luke. Luke wouldn't even understand.
no.
Well, I could see Beth saying to Luke like, "I might be gone for a while." A while
Mm.
meaning I could potentially die.
Again,
Again, yeah.
that
But
poor kid.
Yeza,
You'll come back in five
yeah,
years.
yeah. But interesting because I think Yeza has expressed his concern for Veth's adventuring side. So I wonder if this would. I wonder how Matt would play Yeza learning about Veth going
Yeah,
off to stop like a world-ending thing.
he's because he's kind of played Yeza in the past a bit as I think permission for Sam to
Yeah.
keep playing. Like he's
Hmm.
done that where like Beth has been very much like, oh, I don't know if I should go. I should stay with my family, and Yez has been like, no, do what makes you happy. Do what you think is right. You need to help your friends. This
Hmm.
is big. This is very much like, hey, yeah, like this is I definitely might not come back.
Yeah.
More so than the other times. Uh, I think Yeza would be supportive, but it'd
Hmm.
be hard to kind of if they're not wanting her to go. Um,
Yeah.
which is
Yep.
why I
Yep.
think
Yep.
she might not tell him. I think she might just want
Yeah.
to go spend an evening, act like everything's normal, and just leave. Um,
Could definitely see that. Definitely
yeah.
see it. And I don't think Jester will tell her mom because I feel like
Uh,
Jester is still like trying to process it
yeah.
all herself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I could see someone mentioning the gentleman in chat. I could see her mentioning it to the gentleman as just like someone to vent to, a family member to
Yeah.
vent to.
Do they
But
have any reason to go to
I
Zadash?
don't think they really have any reason, unfortunately.
Um, uh, yeah. Because they don't need to really go to the Cobalt Soul there.
No, it'd be too much of a detour because there's really nothing there.
It sucks. That'd be
Yeah,
so cool to see the
unfortunately.
gentleman again.
It's been a while.
Um, yeah.
But speaking of Beth, we finally got a conclusion, hopefully,
Yes,
to the core cut dagger debacle, as Adam has been mentioning in chat.
that was good. That was
I like how nonchalant Sam was about like I could have died. I would have just died.
and it's like every time they're healed, so like the other players don't know that,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
helping, but they could ultimately kill Feth.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I like I like how that whole scene played out because that was like Caleb was identifying the staff and was just like staff, like,
Yeah,
uh, and everyone else was like, "What the hell is going on, Beth?"
yeah.
Um, to the point where she pulls like a crossbow on Yasha, which
Mm-hmm.
also isn't totally out of character, but
True,
it's probably a
true.
little bit out of the mood.
But oh my god,
Yeah, Amanda's
his
100%.
yep.
This is what you're going to talk about.
This was what I was talking about. I died from laughing. Oh my god.
I
He's like, oh, I'm a halfling. I can re-roll those.
um I'm an idiot and like I fiddle with stuff when I watch and I was
Yeah.
playing around with this piece of wire. Like I don't know
Uh-huh.
if you can see this. Sharp piece of wire.
Yeah.
I was playing around with it last night. When it happened, I clapped my hands together and I've cut my thumb up so much
Oh no.
from that one scene. Um because I was like watching it and he's like, I
Yeah.
rolled a natural one. I'm like, haha, he's gonna use halfling like and he did. I was like, oh my god,
No.
I'm gonna get the
Yeah.
video of me doing it.
Oh my
Because I
god.
recorded it.
Oh,
Uh
nice.
See you, KM68. Thanks
Hi,
for hanging around.
KM68. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah.
Uh,
It was
what?
so good. What a little shit.
What a
It's
piece of shit. um,
oh my god.
but that's in character. That's
Yeah.
like,
But that whole scene was role played really well.
oh
On
yeah,
Sam's
yeah.
part in
It was
general.
like a nice kind of lead in from Caduceus.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, like them just dealing with the dagger as it stood was like,
Yeah.
yeah, very well done. I'm gonna put this away before I cut myself again.
Yeah, I know. Because I mentioned before, like I fidget as well, and I almost burned my pants the other day because I have my lighter on my desk.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Critical Role's gonna kill us.
yeah, it really really is either emotionally or physically. Um,
Yeah.
did anybody
Oh,
catch what happened to the dagger? Yeah, who has it? Who has the dagger now?
did they do this? They did this in the Cobalt Soul, so it's
Yes.
just on the ground,
Yeah,
maybe?
did they just leave it there? Is some like random like Cobalt Soul janitor gonna come by and like pick it up?
You can touch it and hold it, I think, as long as you don't attune to it.
Yes.
So I think they're okay. Didn't Caleb do something with it? I don't know. They might
They
have just
probably
put it
just put
away.
it in one of the bags.
Yeah. I like how too they're like, where did you even get that? And he's like, Avantika.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, Avantika. Remember that character?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's okay. I think just as long as no one attunes to it,
Hmm.
they're pretty cool. Because didn't what's happened with the dagger of denial? Did did Sam unattune to that to attune to the core cut dagger?
Yes. I think
Yeah,
that yes, I believe so.
because that's a really good dagger. That one, the one
Yeah.
that can lock shit.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm hoping they use that one again. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that was a really cool item that they got. Um, but then they kind of died down a little bit. They decided to settle on going to Nicodranus, which was which is going to be a much needed, reprieve from all of the shenanigans they've been
Yeah,
getting up to. And then we
they're gonna
got
go Nicodranus then Jorhas.
yes, Nicodranus and Joros to hopefully talk with the Bright Queen. While we didn't unfortunately get the Boyasha date, we did get a nice conversation hinting at what might happen. Ninjas?
Yeah,
Something with
ninja.
ninjas?
That yeah, that was right towards the end, wasn't it? That was right before they went to bed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
that was very much like I loved Caleb in that scene because he was just like so pragmatic about everything
Yeah.
Bo was saying. Like, Bo's like,
Yep.
hey, like, I want adjustments to the tower. And he's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, just give me a list. And
Yep.
yeah, the idea that ninja cats, ninjas, I get the sense that I like to think they're gonna plan a special date that gets invaded by ninjas and then in a
Yeah.
fight, like
Yeah. It's
um,
probably something like that.
which is
I'm
kind of
excited
sad because
for it.
it's essentially gonna be cats in ninja forms, spirit cats in ninja forms. But
Oh
you know,
yeah.
it's gonna work.
Yeah, it'll be
Um,
fine. And I like how Caleb was like, yeah, you can have the entire tower to yourself. I'll just tell the other members of the party to
yeah,
fuck off for
which
the night.
excites me because we're going to have like Veth go hang out with her family. We're going to
Yeah.
have Jester hang out with her mother. And like I said before, what if we get like a double date? Like, what if
Yeah.
Jester and Ford get
Yeah.
to meet the parent situation?
Hmm.
Um,
But now
yeah,
here's the thing.
yeah,
Do you remember back in one of the previous talks that Bo had about date ideas and stuff and how a B&E could be cool, breaking and entering. Caleb said, "Don't go to the eighth floor." So
I think so.
what if she bring? Yeah, probably not. That would be a little too.
I
That'd be too
feel
heavy for a date, probably.
that'd be a huge betrayal of trust.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
She wouldn't,
yeah,
but
yeah. I was like, oh, maybe they will. But when he specifically brought it up, I'm like, okay, that's off the table. Um,
yeah. Yeah, that's
unless
true, Amanda.
Yashi,
She did pinky swear, and that is a
Yashi,
binding.
Yashi didn't promise.
True. There's the loophole. There it
Yeah.
is. But should we
Um,
that was it, right? I think the episode ended there. There wasn't anything else important that
yeah,
happened, right?
no, nothing else
They went to bed, they
happened.
woke up, now they're Nicodranas.
Mm-hmm, Are we
But
doing
but
art this time around?
yes, we're doing
Yeah.
art. Saving it for
Sorry.
when it's topical.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to interrupt your segue if there was one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we're good. But yeah, we got some dreams, back to back to back dreams. Nice.
Back to
Starting
back.
off, who was first one was Caduceus.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go around and give everyone a drink.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what I thought too, like a catch
No,
up, but
not at all.
I guess not.
It was
And
fucking-
Caduceus's dream was terrifying because that's another potential story arc. Because what the heck was that? Some
I
like
wonder-
consuming.
What I thought, and I'm so happy to hear other theories. What I thought was because he's kind of been thinking of his family and thinking of like how it's going, he kind of knows
Hmm.
that it's safe. And he knows that they're okay. Like, because they talked about, saying goodbye to their families. He's like, no, it's fine. We deal with this sort of stuff. I think it might have just been a nightmare because he has been having dreams of the city. I think it could have just been like a push of this thing is going to devour everything, and this is
Mm,
going to devour what you love, because it seemed as though it was like the area, the town, his home, becoming a living entity, which is like what
yeah,
the living city is like.
yeah.
So I got it more as like a nightmare to remind him of the stakes of this thing.
Mm,
um I didn't take it as like something specific is happening to his home right now. Yeah, I took it as like, what's the thing, like a, not a vision, but like
a
a
premonition,
premonition. Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah, I kind of just took it as like a warning or a nightmare or
an omen.
omen. There you go, that's a good
Mm.
word. Yeah, a portent. Ooh, another really good
Oh,
word.
portent. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. um yeah,
yeah.
or
That's a
like
good
a
point.
game squad, worst case scenario if they fail. Yeah.
Mm,
um
mm,
because he's the one that's kind of been having the dreams, continued dreams of the city.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Which makes
So that's how
sense.
I
Which
see.
makes sense because the Wild Mother is all about the natural order of things,
Yeah,
and this
just
entity is just
natural.
the farthest thing from natural that you could possibly be. It definitely makes sense. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Just a nightmare induced by the stress of what is to come if they ultimately fail
Yeah,
duties.
and the fact that like it's pushing against even the best defenses they had.
Yeah,
um and I think also further kind of illustrating that the corruption of the Savalier Woods is somehow linked to this city, or somehow
yeah.
linked to Aor. um Maybe also to like Molazimir, like whatever happened there.
Mm,
I think, and just the fact that when they were in that last crash site, that living city, that living woods, that was, the one they blew up.
yeah,
um yeah, I think there's just like a lot of connections between the corruption and the Somnovum, and just this ever-present threat of, if you guys don't stop this, it's gone. Like,
yep.
it's gonna consume
It's
everything.
got consume. Ukuto is
I
back.
wrote down some notes from what Dyron said, because I'm a goddamn crackpot theorist.
Oh,
Dyron said, like, when Bo said, "Oh, thanks for helping break the chains," and Dyron said, "Many more chains to be broken." I wrote Dyron equals Therist.
oh my gosh! And there it is.
There
There
it
it is,
is.
folks.
Dyron
Byron is.
equals Therist.
Yep. It always comes back to Therisdune.
But they kept talking about it, like
Yeah.
wizards being covetous and like and wanting things and taking things and the search for power. It's a constant theme.
It
It's
really
a constant
is.
theme.
But on the
Anyway,
topic
Dyron.
of Dyron's Therisdune, and Vandarin is still out grilling somewhere.
Vandarin is Rumblecast. We just didn't
Yep.
see them.
He's there. We promise.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of Caduceus' dreams, we can transition to my fan art pick for this week, which is Caduceus themed, as we switch on over. Wonderful art done by Cercinality or Cursinality. I'm uncertain on how to pronounce the name,
Holy crap!
but that is
That is
some
horrifying.
spooky art. That is,
That is horrifying.
yep. I would not want to
Oh,
have a nightmare of that.
it's also a little bit like the face is kind of scary as well.
Yeah.
I know it's like Caduceus looking over it, but it's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, the teeth.
Yeah. Ugh. It's great. I love the colors. Like, there's not a whole lot of colors, but
Oh,
like that
well,
makes it
like,
even better.
yeah, they've created like so much depth with the darkness in the
Yeah.
center. It looks like roiling chains.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
you can't stop me.
Yep. Oh.
um, it looks like chaos and hunger, and
Yep. We gotta stop it. We have to stop it. It must be stopped.
I know it's like a big brain theory that Tharizdun is behind it all, but I'm gonna ride it till I die.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same. Thurston has to be in this somehow. Um,
Grotesque. That's a real good word for it,
oh
Nelly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then we had Yasha's dream.
Yeah. Sure.
Some interesting stuff happening there. Obviously, giving Yasha a path to be able to not only a path
Ooh.
to be able to maybe use this weapon, but also just setting new goals for Yasha.
Yeah. Yeah, which is excellent because I feel
Yeah.
like for the longest like since Rumble Cusp, since she broke the chains and was like given her wings, we haven't heard from the Stormlord. We
Yeah.
haven't seen kind of what he had in plan for her. The
Hmm.
idea that he called her an avatar of the storm, like
Yeah,
that is
that was cool.
so cool. That is so cool. And it kind of like plays into this idea that she is an unkillable celestial
Yeah.
almost, like because now with her rage and everything, like it's really hard to kill Yasha. Um, but yeah, add into that like the Asimar
Yeah.
background and kind of this celestial aspect of her being. I could see her like I don't know, like I obviously want her to grow old with Bo, but like I could see anything happening to Yasha and it's in a similar vein to like Champion of the Raven Queen, Champion of
Yeah.
the Stormlord sort of
Hmm.
like um
Ooh, so what if Yasha
oh
pulls a Vax?
I didn't want to
Exact.
say it outright, but yeah, like
Yeah.
I could uh I could see the Stormlord like having use for her and maybe less in a kind of as not that Vax was crappy in how the Raven Queen used him, but it was sad as hell. I
Yeah.
could see the Stormlord being um I don't know, more I don't know what I'm saying. I just
wanting
think
her
saying
wanting her to
Vax.
take like more an active role by his side, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What if Yasha becomes a Stormlord? There you go. That's our crazy theory for the
I
episode.
still think that Jester is going to take the mantle of the Traveler at some point. I still think that's the end game for Jester.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that's it's so cool to see that the Stormlord is still there. They're still taking an interest in Yasha. They're still
Hmm.
pushing her to like uh better herself and become more. And now that there's a holy avenger in the mix, yeah, I'm not sure she's going to multi-class. I don't think
I
she's
don't.
going to get a
Yeah,
little
I
empowered.
don't think
I
so.
think that's going to just be a thing of you essentially gain the rights to it
Hmm.
from your deity. Uh, yeah, that's really cool.
100%. But now we can go into your fan art because
Yeah,
it is Yasha related. Here we go. Transitioning over. This beautiful piece of Yasha art was done by @BannerGuard on
yeah,
Twitter.
yeah. So this is
We
an
got
older
some.
piece. This was like they did this about midway through last year, but it was
Hmm.
in the art reel for last night. And I was like, holy crap!
Yeah.
Um,
The
it's
skeletal
so
wings
good.
breaking apart with the ancestral ones coming through, the
Yeah,
lightning striking through her.
it is so cool.
The color scheme just because we see Yasha with her black color scheme that she usually wears and stuff, but then when we see her in a setting like this, surrounded by storms and lightning and stuff, her color scheme and her aesthetic suddenly makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I loved the lightning kind of breaking the
Yeah.
skeletal wings apart. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, Garth. It is actually spelt that way, Gaurd. If you're looking up for this person, I think it's meant to be pronounced Bannergard, but it's Banner Gaurd.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I had to double.
a bit of a
I had to like triple check it, and I like copy pasted the handle just to make sure I wasn't spelling it
it took
wrong.
me a while to find it because I kept trying to search Bannergard. I was like,
Mm,
where is it?
hmm.
But no, it's yeah, that was really cool.
Wonderful,
Really
wonderful
cool.
art, and I am definitely excited to see what is in store for Yasha and her relationship with the Stormlord. I wonder if we'll ever figure out who like her parents are, or like where she gets this ancestral blood from.
I'm not sure if it's like necessary though.
It's
Like
yeah, it's probably not.
I'd love to because it's like give me all the backstory, but I'm not
Hmm.
sure if it's like a pressing thing that needs to be
No,
resolved. It might,
it'll
yeah,
probably
that's
it'll
really
if it ever comes out, it'll just be like information they discover through passing. like just from
Yeah.
Yasha continuing on her
Yeah.
whole path.
Yeah. She could be not again to be too closely related to Vax, but she could be what was that thing that Vax was? Uh it was like a feature they had where they were a chosen one. What's I don't chosen one is not the term. Does anyone remember what Vax was? Fate touched.
Fate
She could be a
touch.
fate touched. Yeah.
And what is the logistics of that? Like what does that mean?
It just means they were like kind of predestined to be some kind of champion of a
Hmm.
god, or they were
Gotcha.
predestined to have some divine aspect to them. So maybe they were fate touched, and yeah, the storm. Oh, the Storm Lord could be her father. That might be a bit
Oh,
much, though. But yeah, the Storm Lord could be like, this is a fate touch. I'm going to
yeah.
chuck some celestial DNA in her, make her an
Gotcha.
Asima. Yeah. Yeah, Vex was spoilers for Kanbei 1. Vex was also a revenant. That was after the fact though. I think he was always fate
Oh yeah.
touched. Yeah. Fate touched sounds dirty.
Oh god. Oh no.
That's pretty
Anyways, then we got our third and final. Oh, hello, Aram. Hello, welcome. We got our third and final dream of the night. Fate tickled.
Yeah.
Yasha is fate tickled. And there it is,
That really
folks. There it is.
that really got me. That's amazing, YB.
My goodness. Going off of the hilarity of that into a quite depressing dream, a quite terrifying one. I
So close.
Matt never ceases to amaze me with his
Right?
just way of telling, like, just
I was
beautifully painting a scene, and the voices he was using. Oh my god, terrifying.
that was so off-putting.
Yeah,
Like we talk about how the characters and Matt especially fully encompass the character that they're playing to the point where like you don't really see the actor anymore, you see the character.
yeah,
Matt doing that made me like kind of repulsed me a bit
yeah.
to
Like I
Matt. Like
could,
I was like, oh, I don't
yeah.
want to watch him do that. Like
Him doing that and using those voices and describing the scene, like I was transported. I felt like I was in that dream as well because of how
oh
well
yeah,
he was describing it.
so uncomfortable. God, it was good. That talented man.
I know. Oh, but
But yeah, we thought we were safe. We thought we were safe.
we
Remember,
thought
like
we were
2 episodes
safe.
ago, we were like, "Oh, I totally forgot about the eyes on Bo and Caleb." And like
Yeah,
this is
right.
what Adam was talking earlier about how they were hiding the eyes and all that sort of stuff,
Hmm.
which is totally valid. But
Yeah, this is
this
terrifying
is
because
worse.
so at,
So
at
much
the end of
worse.
the dream, all of the eyes, all of the nine eyes appeared. But at the start of the dream, it was just the two. So when they wake up,
Yeah,
are they
yeah.
just gonna have two eyes now, or are they gonna have all of them?
I think it's going to be all of them. I think it's like
I think it might be
this
all of them
is
as well.
fast track to nonagonhood. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I,
there's points in that like I rewatched that about like 5 times. There's points in that where the voice changes
mm,
so much, like because it's
mm-hmm.
all that kind of wispy, but there's like 2 or 3 words that Matt says that are so clear and so deep that like again I'm gonna say it again.
Dude?
I'm just like
Aries dude?
or something else, some like maybe it's just the one collective voice that they all use,
Yeah.
but like they'd be like saying like like dreams, and then
Yeah.
it'd be like what did they say? They said, oh no, I didn't write it down, but
Oh
they said
no.
like dreams make anything possible, dreams make
Yeah.
everything
Yep.
possible, and then like everything, like a
Yeah.
deep version of
Yeah.
it.
Ooh.
Ooh, no, not good,
Not good
real
at
not
all.
good, guys.
I am
the the
scared.
fact because the last time it happened when they had the first dream and they got the eyes, it played out with like you wake up, you discover the eyes on your shoulders, and I remember we were saying like for the longest time, like I remember saying for the longest time, like, well, what if they come back and they've got a level in Warlock, or what if it's like they've changed somehow? But we knew that didn't necessarily happen straight away because we had a
Hmm.
bit more roleplay after the fact. But this was cut off. This was cut off right when the Nine Eyes were there
Yeah,
talking to them.
yeah, we were
And
left on a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Andrea's pointing something out that I don't think you want to hear, but will this interrupt the date?
I don't want to hear that. I
I'm
don't want
gonna
to hear
say
that. Actually, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it. And
that was my first thought as well. Because once it finished and once like the episode ended and they're all like, yeah, but we got plans for the date. I'm like, do they?
hmm
Like,
yeah, right. Like, what is it? I
okay,
feel
right.
like they're gonna talk about it. There's gonna be a conversation about it, but I feel like they are going to hold on to their plans to hang out in Nicodranus. Did you recently? Is someone else
Yeah.
typing in chat? Is someone else
No, Dragon Ace
dropping
just
some
wrote what they
stuff?
said.
Oh,
Like,
another finds
another
us, finds
finds
the way
us
home. Welcome, we dream with you. Dreams are the first step. We can make dreams anything into everything together.
together. Yeah.
That is terribly off-putting. Oh God.
I wasn't ready for it. I thought it was going to be like kind of everyone was going to have a dream and
Hmm.
everyone was going to be like I thought it was going to be like a journey so far dream, like
Yeah.
uh this is where you've come from, this is your current goal, this is the thing that's driving you. But then when I
Hmm.
got to that, I was like, oh no, not good, real not good.
Yeah.
um
Not good. But now they need the date, because if they have, well,
I don't know. I'm kind of hoping. I think I said this in our Discord chat like a while ago, like when the eyes first came. I, it's not going to happen, but my absolute dream would be the next episode starts and Liam and Marisha are at the table. Like,
ah,
I want that to be the case because that would be amazing if they.
like they're there for like the intro, like when they do the ads and stuff. But then when the episode starts, like after the intro reel, they're just not there.
It's almost like imagine if they are just NPCs and the party need to do something to save them or to bring them back or to. I know it's probably not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. That would be a
Probably
huge
not,
if.
but it's cool to imagine.
That would interrupt the date, Andrea. Yes.
Oh no.
um, no, that would be. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah, that would rob them of their agency. But again, like I feel like they're all
But
so
we're talking
comfortable with
about
each
that.
other, and
Yeah,
if anything like that would happen, it would be a conversation that they would have outside of the game. So
absolutely.
which means if something like that did happen, they would be okay with it, since they
Yeah,
had that conversation.
yeah.
That's why I'm
That
not
sort
too
of thing
worried
is
about
definitely
that stuff.
something you bring up with your players beforehand.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
ooh.
But this is bad news bears. Like, not good.
I think
Not
I
good.
remember the last time it happened. I was saying like I was trying to sum it up, and I was like, "This is not good. This is
Yeah.
very not good."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Caleb did have the dream as well, Flubberjub.
Yes. Yeah. It was
What
a
an
collective.
amazing name, Flubberjub Wilson. Um, but yeah, so it was both Caleb and Bo. Oh,
So what now? What are our crazy crackpot tinfoil hat theories? I I can't. We can't come
what
up with any
what
anymore.
what if like okay, say that doesn't happen, say they're at the
Yeah.
table, what if they are corrupted though? Or what if they are not necessarily corrupted, what if they are compromised
Yeah.
to the point where the minds of some of them know where the crest is, they know all their
Mm-hmm.
plans, they know what they're doing. What if they're connected to Lucian? Because they say that
Maybe.
Lucian's the nonagon, but he's only
Mm-hmm.
the nonagon, I think, because he's made this connection with Somnovum.
Yeah.
They've made the exact same connection. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
he's more of a zealot and he's done it for longer, but they seem to get the exact same. well, we don't really know, I guess, but
Yeah.
they're being welcomed in like he
Mm-hmm.
was. And he was very much, because when they read the book, it was like it drew them in. They
Yeah.
wanted to know more.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucian has bought into that. He's very much like, I want to find where this goes. I want to meet these people. I think they have the power. I think we could do good things. He seems to have a very positive, well, not necessarily positive, but he is on board for bringing them back, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Caleb and Bo with one tattoo were like, no, we're still got our right senses
Mm-hmm.
about us. What if they start to buy into it?
Yeah.
What if like they start to try to convince the rest of the Mighty Nine to go with them? What if they leave and go? That's their fucking teleporter, man.
Yeah.
Like, they do have perspective, Adam. That's a really good point, but it's whether or not they can fight against that.
Because at this point, like starting when they wake up, Matt just might be having them roll like wisdom saving throws like every time they wake up or like go to bed.
Oh my god. Nell. Vess had them, but they seem to think that Vess drew them on herself.
Yeah, she was a poser.
Yeah. She wasn't a real
Fake.
emo kid.
Yeah, fake fan.
Fake fan.
Yeah.
Fake nonagon.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's an imposter among us.
Lucian, he like gatekeeps the nonagon a bit. Like he should be more open. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh really? You think you're the nonagon? Name 3 of the eye powers.
Right? Yeah. It's one of those things. I'll wait.
Yeah, Vess had the book, but it seems like they never reached out to Vess. That's the thing. Like, I think Vess didn't necessarily have the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know. We don't know about Vess.
Yeah. Vess was.
We just don't
taken
know.
too soon. Taken too soon.
Well, there's one less service assembly member they need to worry about.
True. So thank you, Lucian, for taking care of that. Yeah, I mean, kind of like what you were saying with Lucian and stuff. Like he's probably gonna feel threatened if he ever. Well, but that's the thing.
We don't know if he knows.
Yeah, because we don't know if he knows. But at the same time, we don't know. Again, it's like at the end of every episode, it's like we don't know.
It would kind of suck if we knew all the answers.
Yeah, I know, right? Like this just in. Like
Matt, give us all the answers.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a live feed from Critical Role headquarters. Yeah.
It's Tharizdun.
Yeah. It all comes back to Tharizdun. But do we have any other last minute thoughts, feelings, emotions, questions, concerns? I mean, limitless, always. I'm scared. How chat? How are y'all feeling?
How are you, chat?
Yeah. Quick checkup on everyone. How is everyone feeling? Just on a scale from 1 to 10 in a couple words, how are you feeling? Yeah. Matt is being interviewed by Phil DeFranco today. Ooh.
That's not live though, is it? Beyond Belief. I think that's they record and then they present it. Because I quite like Phil DeFranco. I think that's going to be a good one. Spelling check. It's fine, Andre. We're all there.
Nervous.
Podcast.
Nana good.
That's amazing. That's really good.
That is good. Oh my god. 7 degrees outside. Yikes. Yeah, it's pretty cold here as well. Yep, that is, yeah. I'm feeling that as well. Solid 8, yeah.
Out of like 100? Who was the solid 8?
Just chilling. I haven't seen last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty chill. I am envious of your ignorance, Alex.
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry we just spoiled everything for you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what are you doing, man?
Oh gosh. Yeah, you know, they're going to be in Nicodranus again soon, but yeah, being in Rexingtrum was kind of sketch because, you know, Vess is dead, so they're probably going to be wondering, like, hey, where's Vess? Like, you guys traveled with her. So that, yeah, it's another thing we have to worry about.
Yeah.
We need a beach episode. We
We
need
need a beach
we need a beach
episode.
episode. We
What
said that
else?
last week, but now that they're actually going to be going to Nicodranus again, please give us a date. Give us the beach.
Yeah.
Give us shopping. Yes, Lynn, give us a shopping episode.
We almost had it in him on.
But yeah, I would have been fine with an Amon mini arc.
Ooh, that's something we didn't talk about. Them going to Astrid for
Ooh, yeah.
necklaces.
Oh, we
Or-
kind of talked about that last week because they brought it up last week as well. And how it's like, oh, I don't really know if that's a good idea or not.
and the fact of whether or not they should go there, like go knock on the door, or if they should
Yeah.
arrange a meeting somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because I think they should probably try to arrange it privately because if Trent Trent probably knows they're back. He's got eyes everywhere.
yeah.
But I'm just worried about Trent being like, so, how's Vess doing? Because he probably already like knows she's dead. Like,
Yeah, I imagine she hasn't been checking in.
yeah.
Well, she hasn't been.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
for a fact she hasn't been. And Ludinus's dude. Wait, no, was it who was the dead person in the crash site? Was that Vess's person?
I think that was one of Ludinus. No, Ludinus's was
Vence.
Vence.
Initially. But that was a while ago.
I think maybe this was a new one, or maybe like just another like annex or something.
Maybe not their annex, yeah. It was definitely someone's annex.
It was.
We know stuff. Look at us. I was just
We
talking about
are.
how, like,
It was Ludinus's. That's what I thought.
Annex. Okay. Wow, he's dropping annex.
Yeah, he's
like.
Sheesh. Wonder if it's cursed.
Yeah.
That position. The position is cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like how Snape put a curse on the defense against the dark arts position at Hogwarts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm late. Did we talk about Raisei's art? No. Did Raisei have some art?
Oh, I think Kiralee might have sent it in our chat.
Oh, I have not checked Discord in a bit.
If you don't know the wonderful Risei arts, Risei is our character artist on Hit Dice Heroes, and also just an incredible critter artist.
Oh yeah.
So you should definitely go check out Risei's art of Bo and Dyron.
Yeah.
Oh, real cool.
That's some good stuff. Good stuff. Oh gosh, but I suppose if we don't have any other thoughts, we can go ahead and reluctantly wrap up. Oh, I'm so terrified. I am absolutely terrified. But we're all here. We are all here together, and we are going to get through this together.
Sure.
No matter what happens. No matter what. We will make it through this.
God.
Begin the manifesting. Begin the manifesting. The manifesting begins now.
We need another pump-up speech, Nico. Do you have something ready to go?
Not at the moment. I gotta recharge. My social battery needs like a month to recharge after that one. No, but that was good fun. That was good fun. I'll have something else prepared for next week.
Nice.
But with all that being said, no Hit Dice Heroes is next weekend, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Which gives you plenty of time to catch up on the most recent episodes.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, we're getting into the thick of things. Things are starting to get a little intense.
I'm currently working on my my crime system of the city.
Oh, yeah.
You guys keep getting.
Yeah, we're it's gonna come back to bite us. It's not looking good.
Strike 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next week we're gonna get strike 3. I already know.
Probably. You're just gonna go up and punch a guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, but thank you all so much, as always, for joining us for this conversation. Everyone who's live watching in chat, and everyone who's going to be watching this on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, wherever this podcast may find itself. We appreciate you all so much for joining us on this very long journey, and it's just awesome that we get to experience these episodes and Critical Role and stuff with you guys. You know, we're actively talking about it, and it's just like, like I feel like we're just like a nice close-knit friend group where we can just gush about the episode.
We said that before you started this podcast. Like, we would watch Critical Role and just have no one to talk to.
Yep.
Talk to about it.
Yeah.
So this is a godsend. This
Yeah,
podcast.
and it's like it
Oh,
makes
good.
it makes watching the show even more exciting because like when something big
Yeah,
happens, I'm like, oh my, I can't wait to talk about this with everyone else. Like it's gonna be so much
yeah,
fun unpacking the things that have happened.
yeah.
Um, so so thankful for all of you guys here that have supported it this past year and continue to watch and talk with us. It's awesome. So thank
Yeah.
you all very much. I hope you all, as always, have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you may be on this wonderful earth. And we will see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys.